Psychology of people who have too many interests and how to finally choose one. If you've ever looked at your life and seen a graveyard of half-finished dreams, a course you started, a guitar you bought, a YouTube channel you planned, a fitness journey you quit, a business idea you almost launched, and you thought to yourself, what is wrong with me? Let me say this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not lazy. You're not inconsistent. And you're not a failure. You are experiencing a very specific psychological pattern, a nervous system that craves possibility more than repetition. And if you understand the psychology behind it, you can stop fighting yourself and finally build a life that actually moves forward. If you like psychology and brain-based explanations like this, subscribe now, because this channel doesn't shame your mind. We decode it. Now let's break this down into 7 points. 7 psychological reasons you keep switching interests, and the system to finally commit to one path without killing your curiosity. Point 1. Your brain is wired for novelty. Your brain releases dopamine when something feels exciting. But here's the part most people misunderstand. Dopamine is not the success chemical. It's the anticipation chemical. It spikes before the reward, not after. That's why new interests feel magical. Doctor, football player, singer, writer, actor, YouTuber. Each one gives your brain the same message. This could change everything, and your body reacts. Your eyes widen. Your energy rises. You feel alive. But the moment the excitement becomes routine, dopamine drops, and suddenly your brain whispers, "This is boring. Try something else." That's not weakness. That's neurochemistry. The problem is, you keep chasing the dopamine of starting instead of building the discipline of finishing. Point 2. You have a highly active curiosity system. Some people are born with a mind that likes one track. Others have a mind that scans everything. Your brain is not looking for one passion. It's looking for patterns, connections, ideas that link different worlds. Psychologists describe this as high openness to experience. You don't want one life. You want 10 versions of life. And this creates a painful trap because society says pick one thing, but your brain says explore everything. So you feel guilty, but you're not undisciplined. You're exploratory by design. The key is not shutting your curiosity down. The key is organizing it. Point 3. Your mind is sensitive to boredom. For most people, boredom is just boring. For you, boredom feels almost physical, like your skin wants to crawl, like something inside you needs stimulation. Your mind tries to maintain a certain level of activation. So when you do something repetitive, your brain drops below that activation level, and it feels uncomfortable. That's why you don't just lose interest. You feel trapped. You start thinking, I should do something bigger. I should do something different. I should do something that feels exciting again. And that's when you jump to the next identity. The problem is not that you get bored. The problem is that you treat boredom as a signal to quit. But boredom is not a stop sign. It's a doorway. If you walk through it, you reach mastery. Point 4. You are in love with potential. This is one of the most painful truths. You don't fall in love with the work. You fall in love with who you could become. The version of you as a doctor. The version of you as a football star. The version of you as a famous singer. The version of you as a successful creator. And your mind loves the fantasy because it feels clean, perfect, unchallenged. But execution is messy. Execution has slow days, embarrassing mistakes, boring repetition, failure. So when the fantasy meets reality, your mind protects you by escaping into a new fantasy. This is why having too many interests is not just a mindset problem. It's your brain trying to avoid emotional discomfort. Point 5. You have too many open loops in your brain. Here's what nobody tells you. Every interest you start becomes an open loop, a mental tab running in the background, quietly draining your energy. Maybe I should learn singing. Maybe I should start YouTube. Maybe I should switch careers. And the more open loops you have, the more mentally tired you become. Psychology calls this cognitive load. It creates decision fatigue. So instead of choosing one path, you keep thinking about all paths. And the mind that tries to keep every option ends up completing none. Your brain doesn't need more motivation. It needs fewer tabs. Point 6. Your identity is too flexible. When people stay consistent, they usually have a stable identity. I'm a student. I'm an athlete. I'm a builder. But people with too many interests often have an identity that changes weekly. One week, I'm going to be a singer. Next week, no, I'm going to be a writer. Next week, I'm going to be a YouTuber. That sounds like confidence, but it's actually instability because identity gives direction. And when identity changes every week, your brain resets to 0. This is why you keep starting over. The solution is not choosing one interest forever. It's choosing one identity for one season, not for life, for a season. Point 7. You are misunderstanding how success is built. Here is the system that fixes everything. You are not meant to pick one thing forever. You are meant to pick one thing for now. This is called serial focus. Most people fail because they try to build 5 careers at once: music, sports, content, business, fitness, writing, and everything stays shallow. Instead, you choose one pillar for the next 6 months. Not because the other interests are worthless, but because your brain needs a single target. And after 6 months, you don't quit. You graduate. Then you choose the next pillar. This is how multi-interest people become unstoppable. Not by forcing one identity forever, but by mastering one season at a time. The fix: how to pick one interest without losing yourself. Here's the simple decision system. Step 1. Pick the interest with the best combination of energy, practicality, progress. Ask yourself, which interest makes me want to show up even on boring days? Step 2. Choose one output, not one dream. One output. For example, if you choose YouTube, your output is one finished video per week. If you choose singing, your output is one recorded song per week. If you choose writing, your output is one finished script per week. Output creates identity. Identity creates momentum. Step 3. Create a curiosity container. A notebook, a Notion page, a folder. Every new interest goes there, not into your life. You don't kill curiosity, you store it. Because curiosity is fuel. But without a container, it becomes chaos. Final message: if you have too many interests, you are not broken. You are a high adaptability mind living in a world that worships specialization. Your mind was built for connection, for synthesis, for seeing patterns others don't see. But your success will not come from choosing the perfect path. It will come from choosing one path and giving it enough time to reward you. 6 months, one season, one pillar, then another. You don't need one passion for life. You need one direction for right now. So stop calling yourself inconsistent. You're not inconsistent. You're multidimensional. And once you learn how to focus your psychology, your life will finally match your potential. If this video felt like it was describing your brain, subscribe, because we're building the map for minds like yours. And comment this: which one are you choosing for your next 6 months?